So 12 of the Mainly Golf Show. I am back in the chair. Marv has been put into Noel Gallagher sideshow Bob position. I'm
Relegated,
relegated once again. I'm joined by the Sticky
demoted.
Bandits, Marv and Hep. We won't give their full names for in case the government are after them for unpaid taxes. But
Oh, Rory Tracker is after me.
the Rory Trackers will chase after Mystic Marv for the next few months. Rory's not going to win another major this year. We're fine. We're here to preview the RBC Canadian Open. But Marv, I'm all right in thinking this is a bit of an anticlimax, right? We had the Charles Schwab challenge last week where Scotty was big favourite, had a terrible first round, came back, but Davis Riley hung on. The PGA Tour are trying to sell these lesser events as being meaningful, but these tournaments without when you don't have a full field, they are really struggling to get almost like the eye of the casual fan flicking through the channels anyway.
Yeah, looking back at the Charles Schwab, the field wasn't great, but I suppose with Scotty in there, there's Morikawa, there was pieces. But then you turn to this week's field, and for me, whether it's FedEx Cup points rankings, it's World Golf rankings, it's even worse.
Yeah,
Um,
we argued this in the weekend, right? So you said technically this week is a stronger field. I think last week we had Morikawa, Finau, Scheffler. None of them are here this week, and yet from a world golf ranking or FedEx Cup whatever position, this week is technically a stronger field. Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry. We said before, right? McIlroy's not won a major in 12 years. However long. Fleetwood's never won in North America. Lowry's not won in 10 years. Like, how are they selling this? Right? It's not good enough.
no, as you
Cameron
say,
Young never won.
it makes me wonder if behind the scenes there's been a bit of okay, Scotty, okay, that's come on, you live in Texas.
Please play this
Please,
tournament.
exactly. Please play that. Oh, Rockaway, oh, you won here in 2019. Oh, and please play that tournament. Do you know what I mean? Spread out the top players. Else, Jesus, like we're gonna get one tournament surely out of it, whether it's a week after a major or something.
By
That
22 on the field.
it's just like,
Fucking Alex Noren,
is this
16
the
to 1
PGA
favorite.
Tour or is this like the web.com or something? It's just, it's
Come on,
yeah.
Ferry Marv. It's 2024.
Well, exactly. He's Big
I think we
Bob's
might.
big
Yeah.
Big Bob's Bastard Beans tour or something. It's
Punta Cana, Big Pops. I mean,
We
it's
might get that the Rocket Mortgage 2 weeks after the
the
US.
Quicken Loans, the fucking Amigo Loans
The Bobby's
challenge.
Nuts Challenge or something.
Yeah, the Amigo Loans paid out eventually, so right, we did all right with that. But yeah, it's
The
not a strong
Wonga Loads Challenge.
fucking Wong. Do you remember those ads? Wonga. Oh my God. I was a Wonga fan. Yeah, we don't talk about those days.
It's only 1,000%
Any
a year.
fucking payday loans, anyway, kind of a tangent. Rory McIlroy is a 4-1 favorite this week. Hey, would you be? We said about before. Scheffler was at 5-2, 11-4 last week in a similar field. What price would you back Rory at this week? He's 4-1 with 365. Would you be interested given the fact he's won? What he's won 2 of the last 4 renewals here.
No, he's not Scotty. I'm not backing him at fourth.
At 4-1.
No.
Well,
Even-
you've always
even
said
in
like you want
field.
somebody who's going to be there at the weekend. You know, Rory's going to be like tied 7th on Sunday. You're going to get your reach for him. What price would you back him at?
8s, 9s. But that was probably a bit on the high side. But
We had the same discussion
you
before Quail Hollow
can't
as
trust
well.
I mean, he's going to be up there. He's not going to miss the cut. He's probably going to be, pretty much guaranteed to be in the top 20. But he's not even
Keyword,
close.
baby.
That Scotty scare, on a Sunday where you just know he's going to be in top 5 and deep in contention. I'm not backing him at 4-1. We know Marv will because Marv loves it. But
Yeah, I think I'd be more tempted to back Rory. Potentially if Amanda is on the commentary this week, to be honest.
he has won here.
Anyway,
Eight places a quarter, 50 odds. I'm probably looking for at least fives minimum, obviously. I just can't back him because it's me and it's Rory McIlroy. But
At least you're honest.
I think probably 6-1 is. I'd understand people backing him if it was fives or sixes. At least if it's a risk-free bet in a way, because potentially he should get. If he can't get eight places, yeah.
I mean, we say
No.
that, but then you look at like second Fleetwood. They said never won on the PGA Tour. Third Sahith won one, like poor event last year in September. Hasn't won else. Lowry hasn't won on the PGA Tour for 5 years except the team event. Connors has only ever won twice, but both at the same course in Texas. Cameron Young never won. Noren, I don't know when the last time he's won. Burns, he's
I
been
think
sort of
Norrie
out
won
of
at
form.
Wentworth like 9 years ago.
Yeah, and then Adam Scott. That's the 8 people behind McIlroy, and so you're not looking at anyone in the top 10 favourites then if you're not taking on McIlroy. But still, I can't back him at 4-1. But just as you go into the strength of the field, I mean, 8 of the top 9. I mean, Maverick McNeely rounds out the top 10 on odds checker.
Maverick Manila is not winning another golf
That is
tournament anytime soon, is
a
it?
shambles of a top 10. I mean, if any of these guys need to break their 5-year-long winning ducks or, their virginity of winning on the PGA Tour, then this is the week for them, isn't it? It's so bad.
Is that more an indictment on the tour, given the you'd almost say at the minute it's like it seems like two tours where you get some strong people turn out this week, some next week. So again, last week we had Homer who withdrew. Okay, fair enough. He said he had an injury. Then you had like Finau and Morikawa and Scotty.
Yeah.
And then this week you've got Rory and Fleetwood and Lowry, Tigala. And then the week after, okay, these guys have a break and we get like Cantlay and Schauffele.
Yeah.
For
I
the
mean, I
guys.
think until the Live and PGA merge, you're just going to get these weeks. Like, you got the signature events where everyone plays. And then the weeks in between that and the majors, you're just going to get this and you just have to try and find interest in the Davis Riley getting his PGA Tour card, Ben Knowles the other week when Pendrift beat him, like just that the grinders at the back of the tour playing for their tour cards and playing for their exemptions and trying to enjoy that aspect of some of these fields. But yeah, I mean, I think we said in the majors, like the 30th best golfer is like Max Homa, who's amazing. So, like, if you could have that every week, it would be great. But we're just gonna have to have these fields and look for those long shots and try and enjoy that story.
Is it? Would you argue like at the minute it's like a sorry state of the PGA Tour where at least with the like you and I follow the European Tour quite regularly. Like, if there's a tournament out in so and so wherever land, whether it be in the Europe or Asia, okay, who are the guys who generally play well? Jordan Smith, Rasmus Højgaard, okay, Wiesberger's back on tour, he's a live golfer. They're going to be like 22 on the field, and I think it was Bob McIntyre who came across and said like, I actually hate being on the PGA Tour because in Europe they have like a certain level of camaraderie and they all go for dinner together and we understand like, okay, we're competing with each other, a bit like the darts players, we're competing with each other to win, but we kind of want each other to do well. Except on the PGA Tour, they're all quite, I don't know, not ignorant, but just ruthless and like this is all about me as opposed to the greater good. The DP World Tour, it's about we want the tour to do well because we'll all benefit then, right? If we all do well and we raise our profile, ideally we all move across, so we go to the PGA Tour, or we get more prize money, more sponsors, whatever. The PGA Tour at the minute just seems so divisive and like everyone, which is why like the players on the board seem so strange and Cantley and Scott and Webb Simpson, right? It seems a mess at the minute.
Yeah, and Yeah, there's a lot of the players on the board seem to be getting the exemptions. Scott and Webb into these events
Simpson.
where maybe they're
Yeah, Webb's had like 5 exemptions already, right? He's played terribly.
Yeah. And not wanting to probably bring this down, but obviously the very tragic events of last week hopefully puts it into perspective a bit and brings it together. And there is a little bit less of what's in it for me attitude. And they can start to work a bit together. But yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I mean Harry Higgs won on the web.com tour, as Marv alluded to. He won on the Corn Ferry tour. Having had previously been on the PGA, and he said like players out there need to realize you will make a difference to somebody. And it's up to us to try to make other people realize that. But that's probably a debate for another time. Mal, I won't ask you about the European Open this week, which is in Germany. It's a good field actually for the PG World Tour and 22 on the field. But if you don't like Rory at 4-1, and you don't like Fleetwood, and you don't like Lowry, do you have anything for us at a price? So I don't think we need to like dwell on last week's golf because it's just
Yeah, the only thing I would add is that I think in trying to not compete with Liv because they can't compete with Liv, but in trying to say, okay, they've got the 4 majors, then you've got the players, and then they've tried to make these signature events that by putting signature events in, it dilutes all the other tournaments that are not signatures. Back in the day, you had Arnie's tournament, you had Jack's tournament, you had certain events that Tiger would play. Also, I know Tiger's kind of a bit of an anomaly, but I think then throughout the year, the quality of fields were, maybe the signature events now are too high a quality and the poor events are too low. Do you know what I mean? There's no real middle ground. And I think for a product, because let's be honest, even if, you had someone like, I don't know, Tony Finau battling a Jordan Spieth, not the way John Spieth playing, but that's still 2 reasonable players. At the moment, these bad events, they are really, it's too much of a drop off. But for this week, well, this week really fancy another Canadian winner, and obviously last year, Nick Taylor, the first in over 50 years. So I'm going to go with 2 Canadians. This week it's more just a coincidence, really. There's no statistics to back it up. Just sticking a pin in, really. Which I think I do that every week.
this is what people hate. I've got no stats to back this up.
Oh
but
yeah,
fancy these.
look, like Bryson got some place money, so I'm not completely broke yet. So I just picked out 2. I'll just throw them out there: Adam Hadwin and Mackenzie Hughes. 2 Canadians, not really big names. I really, they're at a reasonable price, nothing too short. I think they're both one's 45 to one's 50s. So it's a pin job. It's a pin job week for me. And obviously Max Lay, Rory McIlroy, as ever.
Ed, at some point we need to go through these podcasts.
Yeah.
And look at how many weeks Marv has put Max Lay Rory up.
Don't count it towards my P&L, please.
Yeah. It's wiped out his Bryson.
And the Max Lay Scheffler, that's not going towards the P&L either.
The players, he cannot win. Yeah.
Are you
aware what happened to Hadwin in this tournament like 12 months ago?
Let's not dwell on the past, shall we, Twig?
No, I'm saying you've got no idea, have you?
I'm not aware.
So Hadwin came. He tried to chase down Nick Taylor on the 18th after he made that 55. What 55?
It was massive put. Yeah,
72.
And Hadwin tried chasing after him, like celebrating, and some security guard fucking spayed him like Goldberg.
Do you know? Now you mention it. The reason I
remember.
I remember more this tournament because I'm sure Tommy Fleetwood stood on the 18th tee with a 1-shot lead, and
I'm pretty sure I backed Fleetwood in running and 4-1. Yeah,
did he bogey the last hole? And I'm sure he bogeyed it. I don't think he double bogeyed it.
I can't believe Ben called this, by the way, but that's a different story. Jesus.
So obviously that ended up with a playoff with Nick Taylor, but yeah, Tommy Fleetwood absolutely bottled this tournament last year.
I think 16 was a drivable par 4. I think Fleetwood drove it into the water. Oh, maybe no, that's a lie. I think one of the holes, either 16, 17, 18 was a par five, and he went for it in two and found a drink. I'm thinking like, Tommy, like,
Sounds about
how
right.
have you done? How? It wasn't even a big
Yeah,
bet. It's
I
like
don't think it
40.
was 18. I think 18 you
It was
take
like
to the ground.
40 quid at fives. Something. It wasn't even like a big bet. I'm thinking, God, Tommy, you are never going to win in America. If you can't win this tournament, you are never going to win American PGA Tour, North America,
I
whatever.
stand corrected. Actually, the 18th last year, because obviously with the different venues, it was
Yeah.
a par five, but it was a short par five, and it was, I think a
Tommy
birdie.
should have found. There's no excuse.
And
It was a poor shot.
I think he even might have struggled to make par and just get in the playoff. I remember watching it. It was one of the tournaments I did watch last year, funnily enough.
I mean, to your point about like stars, right? So if you look at strokes gained tee to green on tour this year, Scheffler 2.75. Next one down, Xander 1.86. Next one down, Hideki 1.46. Then JT, my God, his short game is fucking awful. 1.4. And then you've got Rory 1.4, Siwoo Kim 1.35, Adcock 1.2. But Scheffler's double, basically the field. No Scheffler, no Xander, no Hideki, no JT. The top four. And then you got Rory who's fifth. Like you realize like it's the PGA Tour. If Scotty, God love him, decides to like finish golf and go and start a ministry somewhere and spread the word of Jesus, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the PGA Tour is so fucked. It's unbelievable.
It's definitely
Yeah.
the type of guy you could think, oh, I've won this money, I'll go have a year paternity leave now. Like he's just earning it all in whilst the kid is, very, very young. And then he will just have the next year off.
If anyone on tour, right? Scheffler has the vibe of golf is not my priority. Like,
Yeah, he'll make his
first of
money
all,
that he needs for life.
my
and
faith
then
is
he's not.
primary. Faith, or it's like faith, family flag. He definitely votes Trump. He's such a Republican. but I mean, if he disappears, I think the PGA Tour is in such bad trouble. Like it's so bad. And last week was they were basically willing him on to like, please cover this. Who the fuck is Dave Dominic Dale? Who the fuck is Davis Riley?
Well, me and Hep came up with an idea last week that
Hep and I.
Hep and I, okay. That
Timestamp that.
that would sort the issue. It would get rid of one player that nobody wants, and that player that wants the bag, and that's all they care about.
He must be Cantley.
And it would bring back a player that the PGA Tour needs, and who is to me primed for stardom. So I'm proposing a trade, a live golf trade between the PGA Tour and live. Send Cantley, send him packing, and let's bring back Bryson. Do you know? The NFL does trades, the NBA does trades, Major League Baseball does trades. We need a golf trade now.
Can you imagine the crowds when Bryson comes back? He's going to be, in wrestling terms, right? He's going to be welcomed back as such a baby face. Bryson is already seems he's already like seen as such a star. People want to cheer for him without like, oh, okay, he's gonna leave. Oh, we can cheer for him, but okay, not really sure about this. When he comes back and it's like a full PGA Tour member, people are gonna lose their shit over Bryson. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I think what was it? Have these guys signed like 3-year deals?
I think Bryson might be in his
I
second
think
year.
there's quite a lot up this summer actually. I think DJs and stuff I heard was up this summer. So it's like
DJ's like gonna be like 43 now. Like he's earned his money. He's fine. He's seen
but
like
can they just come back to the PGA Tour if they're done with live? Like
can the
I'm sure
PGA Tour's
Tour
like
would take
can
them
the
in.
PGA Tour like refuse them?
I think they have to apply for membership, maybe.
Yeah, I think you have
in
to
some way.
apply.
You see, I think in the old days, I say old days, I think if you won so many events in your career, you had then, life exemption, for example. Dustin might have got, had enough wins, but
True.
But whether
He was first to go, really, wasn't he? Of the
Mm.
big guys, so I guess his contract is going to be up first.
I wouldn't want him back. Have you seen what was it? Like over 300 in the world or something ridiculous. He's just he didn't even perform at any majors.
Marv, did you hear the the events of like Ram or the what's it called in the putting greens or the whatever the prelims whatever people going to Ram or sorry John going up to people saying, "Hi, nice to see you again. Fuck away from me." He got paid off by like 5 6 people. He was really apparently very offended by this.
He's still a PGA Tour member. He still wants the best for the tour.
Hey,
Just
I
suspect.
still want what's best for the tour. You and I are the same.
I'm still a member. Looks like DJs is 4
It's
years.
just, I kind of got like paid 600 million, so well, we're kind of not the same, but hey, no,
Yeah, it looks like DJs was a 4-year contract up in 2026. So yeah, maybe we don't know just yet.
The Aaron Oberholzer, so that was the hole that stemmed. I do partly sit with him, to be honest. I just think, yeah. But my thoughts have always been, look, the PGA Tour made you in a way, so you don't bite the hand that kind of originally fed you, because it's just disrespectful, if I'm honest. Fine, you've gone somewhere else, someone else has paid you more, fine. Just, don't take the piss. Don't disrespect the people that are still there, because, the golf is bigger than you, John Ram.
I suppose the big difference is right. The people who played on the DP World Tour and gone through, like, I think of like the people who, like a Bob McIntyre, right, or a Ryan Fox or Nikolai Højgaard, they would never do anything that is really insulting to the DP World Tour, the European Tour, because they are aware of where they come from and how the tour kind of gave them a platform, let them earn a living, let them build a brand or whatever, build a career, and now they're on a much you know, bigger stage, earning more money. But you never hear them ever speak bad of the DP World Tour. Even Rory, right? To be fair to Rory, Malviori's biggest critic, he will never speak ill of the European Tour because of how it helps people, develop and build their skill set and come through the ranks. And it's kind of accepted now, right? DP World Tour is almost like a stepping stone for the PGA, and we all kind of accept that. But you would never hear any of the players who've actually played on even like a Lowry, like a Fleetwood. You never hear them ever knock the tour. Whereas some of the people who've come through, I always think of Patrick Reed. What a wanger. Not you don't ever not like a place where you've earned a lot of money before. And it's really strange how some of the guys that leave have almost, I don't want to say been brainwashed, but they've almost been instructed, it feels, to bash the opposition, which is just ridiculous. You're an independent contractor earning money for yourself and your family. Go by all means, go make as much money as you want where you want, but don't knock other places where you could potentially make money thereafter.
Yeah, I think it takes, and in all sports, I think it takes an extreme individual to get to the very top and still be very humble. And whether it's just, I don't know, who knows, whether John Ram's just not got the people around him that he really needs around him. But I just think it's just a horrendous look. I don't generally see it as Brooks, as Bryson, obviously Phil, but Phil's Phil. A couple of other big names. I generally don't think Bryson
Phil's
or
got big
Brooks,
gambling debts, right? Phil
and
Phil needs the money.
no, he doesn't gamble. Remember that.
What about that?
I don't place bets on sports or whatever. Someone propositioned
Like
him with
Marv,
it.
don't gamble. Like 20 quid a spot.
Um, but I don't think Brooks or Bryson have ever come out and they're kind of like, okay, I've taken the money, fair enough, but they've never trashed the PGA Tour. I don't think they've ever, they've tried to keep that bridge, haven't they? because they potentially know that probably Dustin, but Dustin's kind of pales into significance with his ability anymore. But yeah, some players have come out and really just they've burned the bridge, and there's a couple of people out there that obviously like Ram, maybe Mickelson, that a lot of players are not going to be coming back. You say everyone will open their arms for Bryson, but he's just a different guy.
Bryson, but I think Hep made a well. I'll give Sato the floor very shortly.
Oh dear.
He said, "I'm going to use the money to try to spread the word of golf and create a YouTube channel and like create more social type content." And a few of the people around the same time said the same thing, but they haven't actually done anything. Bryson's got one of the most followed golf channels on any social media platform anywhere, and he actually just tried to create golf content for some, the casual golf fan, people who are diehards are gonna like follow anything anyway. But he tries to put it in a language where you don't really need to be a proper golf person to know what he's talking about, and
A golf nerd, yeah, we don't.
yeah. And apart from him, there's not really anybody who has gone across to live and has actually tried to adhere to the reason why they're moving, right? Bryson he seems like a genuine guy, and he's the only person who he's moved across to live, and people have not turned against him. And I think he is like you said, he's the one person where if the PGA Tour could make a trade right now, that he's a one guy would have straight back.
He's just. I said I don't think Brooks, as you say, Brooks has not done anything negative against PGA Tour, but he's not put himself out there either and tried to be. But that's it. Bryson's different, and he's back to the whole thing of sport need characters. Sports need people to follow, interesting people. But no, honestly, I didn't really have any thoughts on Bryson at the beginning of this year, but from what I've seen, more and more I see of him, he's a star. He's already a star, but he's just going to get bigger.
I compare golf so often to wrestling. He needs TV and he needs stars. Bryson is box office wherever he plays. The fact he was having the practice screen and he finished his shot. He saw Schauffele made the birdie, and he ran to go and he came on Twitter, right? He said Sander is a great golfer, but more importantly, Xander's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant guy. I've known him a long time. I'm so happy for him. That's an unbelievable level of humility you would not have seen from Bryson like 4 or 5 years ago. And again,
I don't know who else you'd ever see it from Twig.
But like us three, right? We're all in our 30s now. You become a level of like maturity. Bryson was very cocksure. Like I think it was 26. I want to say 2016 Masters. We were all on him for big prices. Maybe 2017.
Maybe 18, something like that. But yeah,
It's like it's at least 5-6 years ago, right? Bryson he's learned his craft. He's earned his money. He's paid his dues, and now he's there.
Yeah. He's not calling Augusta a par 67 anymore. that was the height
for me. Oh, Bryson, come on, pal. It's like telling Wade, like the Labour's like plus. Yeah, it's like oh God. Imagine telling Whittam like the Labour's. Yeah, I'm talking about
that's not
the fucking open election. Like you just pick your battles. And Bryce is the one guy where you think we want to love you. We really want to like you. Give us a reason to. And the last like 6, 12, 18 months. Okay, he just everything the right way. He plays golf the right way. He is now humble. He will go and give credit where it's due elsewhere. And again, if you have to compare him to like Xander's a great golfer. He has no person to anyone else outside of golf, right? He's got no personality. He's got no character. Cantlay, what a wanker. Got no interest in following Patrick Cantlay, whatever he does. Okay, Speed doesn't play very well anymore. Who's there? Justin Thomas. he's had a bit of a wobble. I'm trying to think people like casual golfers might know. John Rahm, he's fucked off to live. Who else is it? Okay, Scott is the best player in the world. Rory, fucking hell, Rory's getting divorced. Who's he been shagging? Um, Tony Finau, he's a Mormon, got 4 wives. Um, Hideki, not doing anything really in what last 2 or 3 years. If I'm a casual golf guy, who else do you know? Morikawa, he's all right. He gets in contention in a big tournament. He's arse goes. Aberg's supposed to be the next big thing. He's not won anything yet. Who else is there?
I suppose
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean, you're not going to go out. Sorry, but
no,
you're not going to
exactly,
go out there and buy a driver because Xander uses it, are you? But people will buy Bryson's 3D printed irons because it's a bit unique. It's Bryson, and if he sells them, and if there
He's
is a
Hep.
company that
Hep me.
he's got a partnership.
Hep, leave it to me, right? You work in. I don't know what's your title?
Pricing manager.
Right, price manager. You do work in marketing, right? Bryson is a commodity. He's a brand. You can commercialize him. People want to play or be like Bryson. You can you can kind of commercialize him because people want to be like him.
Yeah.
You cannot commercialize Sander Schauffele or
Any-
Patrick Cantley or any of these fucking boring
But they think you can, and they
on the
think they're
PGA
worth
Tour because
30
people
million a year
just
because of
don't
it.
care.
No.
Part of sport is like, and this is where it's got lost. Like Alex Noren, he's 7 strokes gained tee to green. He's 7 strokes gained on tour this year. I don't care. Nobody cares. There has to be an emotive attachment to any form of person, company, whomever. Otherwise, you don't get invested in them. People will get invested in Bryson by the way he plays the game. Keith Mitchell, eighth. Okay, Keith Mitchell's eighth on tour, strokes gained. How? What do you know about Keith Mitchell? Apart from the fact he wears a fucking visor and he bottles it in the last round of
That's
tournaments.
what I was going to say. Where's a visor?
Anyway, Aaron Rai, he wears 2 gloves. Nobody cares about Aaron Rai. I'm sorry, Aaron. If you are
And he
one
has
of our
covers for his
40
irons.
viewers,
But
nobody cares about you. People will care about Bryson DeChambeau. And this is where this is where the PGA Tour is really struggling. They are unable to make styles or unable to make you want to cheer for somebody.
The thing I'm going to say is looking at a list of if you were live then, if there was 1 or 2 more players out there that you think, look, we get 1 or 2 more, and
Scheffler.
it's a done
Give him-
deal. The
give him
PGA Tour
everything.
is on its ass basically.
I'd give Scheffler whatever he wanted.
Do you think Matsuyama because of the commercial side of that?
Yeah,
Asia?
potentially that makes sense. Like Hideki is so
Yeah.
like Hideki is so big in Japan. It's unreal.
and then
Rory
I'd probably
is
try and
probably
deal Ludwig.
Rory probably has the same problem in Europe. Rory's seen as like the poster boy of Europe in the Ryder Cup and whatever. But apart from Scheffler, McIlroy, and probably I'd take a punt on Aberg.
Would
I
you
think
would you go Aberg over Victor?
Yes. Victor has. I mean, people don't seem to remember Victor won the FedEx Cup last year with a ridiculous like final round. I think 63, 64. But again, there's no connection. People don't know who he is. Golf is so much like pro wrestling. It's unbelievable how similar they are, right? If you have no personality and you can't connect with an audience, people don't care. Tiger was
Well,
very.
we just saw the world #1 get arrested, and the police didn't know who he was. Like, and I'm sure 95% of the population would walk past Scheffler and not know who he is. Maybe even higher.
And he didn't.
You might have heard the name, but
he
knowing
didn't
the
know it was
face.
Hep, and he was driving into Valhalla Golf Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't just walking down the street either, was it?
Yeah. During the major that's being held in your home city at 5 a.m. Someone's trying to
The problem is, right, there's a before and after with Tiger, and No one will ever get to his level again, ever. Sorry, Hep. Like Tiger is
No,
a
no, no, no.
different
Yeah, yeah.
stratosphere.
Yeah, as
Oh, well,
a
Scotty Scheffler playing against Bidley. Shut the fuck up.
no,
Tiger will
no,
never be
as a
like
as a
Tiger
brand, obviously
ever.
Tiger will never be beaten, but he
So
can be
his
beaten equally in
stardom
golf.
is kind of he kind of eclipses everyone else coming after him, right? Like a Scheffler, a McIlroy, a Ram. But at the same time, he at least because the spotlight was on him, the spotlight was also on golf. And golf is so desperate for having somebody try to get just near his levels. And despite Scheffler being stroke gained wise in his stratosphere, he doesn't have the same aura. And that is something you can't put a price on. Is it right, Marv? Do you
And
read this? Like they offered, I think Tiger like 700 million over 3 years to have to live, and he turned it down.
I think so. Yeah,
Which is like just so
I,
now he
and
has
that was
so
a few
much
years
stroke.
ago, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, in 20 when they started signing everyone. Yeah. No, Tiger said I've got too much loyalty to the PGA Tour because to your point, these are the people that made me who I am, and like they helped me provide for my family and whatever. So this is where my loyalty is.
It's a strange one because over the years, obviously, Tiger hasn't been too loyal to certain individuals.
Like
But
his wife, ex-wife.
do you know what I mean? But I think, as you said, I think Tiger kind of came along. The game of golf needed it. It was kind of like not the perfect storm, but as you say, so from a brand point of view, nobody will ever be able to eclipse what Tiger's done. But
Ever.
that's it. As you say, playing the
What's the
game.
Rory count at?
It
36?
no, it's just it is what it is, and I think it's I won't even say generation. I would say one time in hundreds of years time, maybe it might happen again in golf, but it's like it's like football at the moment, for example. You know, if maybe it's not even as good a comparison, but if Messi and Ronaldo hadn't have come along, who would we be talking about as potentially the greatest ever footballer? You have to be going back maybe a long time. So I just think certain times people come along and it happens once every 100 years or whatever. Something crazy like that. But yeah, it's golf is crying out for somebody. And Scotty Scheffler can do everything he can, and nothing against him. But he's just the way he is. And he's the type of person he is. But that doesn't get people through the doors, or enough of the casual fans through the doors that puts the golf from the golf pages onto the actual, front pages sort of thing.
So what's the big difference between, say, Tiger and Scotty?
Probably it's I
Is
would
it
say
just
that
like basically like charisma?
yeah, but it's funny because I said as many people for me watched Tiger because they wanted him to win as many watched him to see him lose because there was that.
You say this all the time. Like, who watched Tiger to see him
Oh,
lose?
look! Honestly, early on, people say, "Oh, it's boring him winning." I want to watch it. I want to watch someone else win. Do you know what I mean? And it's like in sport. Look, you know, I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'll never be a Liverpool fan. I can't stand them.
Look,
But
are you talking to?
it's
I got
without
sacked
them.
6 years ago this
Look,
week.
without Liverpool, the Premier League would be far more boring because you follow the Premier League to see Liverpool lose, to see them fall at the final hurdle, etc.
I don't think they do.
You
Who watched
need
the Premier League for the Premier League?
but
part of football though is it's not only supporting your team, it's
Yeah,
cheering.
it's
exactly.
not related to
Like,
Liverpool.
we're all
It's
happy
just
that
in
Leeds
general.
lost the
And
playoffs this weekend. Like you want your rivals to lose.
I think that's kind of part I'm getting is that nobody doesn't like Scotty Scheffler, but Tiger Woods created that buzz.
I took a great deal of pleasure watching Leeds lose the player final yesterday. Like I've got no axe to grind there. I worked with her very well. Good club with us when I worked with the Unibet that you read. I'm a Huddersfield Town fan. I want to see Leeds lose.
Yeah, but it's partly like which you agree with, but it's partly like why Marv hates McIlroy to some extent because if Sky are pumping him up
He's a Tiger
so
fan.
much, you just want him to not win all. Some people don't want the guy that is the main focus and gets his arse licked every week by the TV coverage. To
That's the one thing is
Brother
Scotty.
Paul McGinley.
Scotty might be playing far better than McIlroy right now. But McIlroy's got a bigger brand and a draw to golf than Scotty at the moment. I would say as
On that point, yeah. Like stroke gain tee to green, this year so far on tour. Scotty Scheffler averaged 2.74, Rory McIlroy 1.38, and yet the Sky Sports will tell you, when they play their best, Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler basically the same. What? No, sorry, no. One point I made 2 weeks ago, right? I was in Ireland. God love, and they love Rory in Ireland. After he won at Quail Hollow, and Laura Davies goes, "Well, they're going to be favourites, right, for the PGA?" What? Well, they've got to be favourites now. They're both playing the same golf. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, Laura. No, he's just won a tournament, and his favourite is a tournament. No, what's going on? He's got a great record here. He loves the course. Rory is very much like one of those emotive players. Like he likes to play a place where he's got good memories. Why would he be like joint favourites? Have you watched any golf for the last 18 months? Okay, I'll just have a job.
That would, if I answered that question, then this podcast would seriously be in trouble. So maybe we swiftly move on.
Your real name's not here. You're fine. Listen, what the fuck? She's never had a bet in her life, has she?
Look, I'm sure I don't know her statistics in terms of what she's won, whatever. I know she was reasonably successful. I think
female Monty.
Do you know what I mean? So do you know? I never thought of it like that, but she looks pretty similar to Colin. But it's. I just think, even from a commentator's point of view, I just think, too many sports have just gone PG, and you can't. It dilutes. The WWE has gone that way, and it's successful because of the audience, because it's kids based. It's for and it's brought. There's a fan base there for it. Adult sports, competitive adult sports, the top end is ruthless as hell, and you can't dumb that down. Sometimes there's got to be a bit of reality that these are golfers. Let's be honest. As much as Bryson did what he did last week, and that's great. Is he stood on the driving range or the practice range, hoping Xander makes that putt? Come on,
No,
exactly. So that's a bit of a reality, isn't it? But I just think when it's dumbed down a bit too much. It's the product. You need that competition.
There's a fine line that he wants. He obviously wants to Xander to miss. Like he's a grown man. He wants to win a major, but at the same time, if he does make the putt, Firefox, okay, shake his hand.
That's what I mean. He's not going to sell
level of humbleness and humility that. But at the same time, of course I want you to move. I want to win.
Yeah, he's not going to celebrate. He's not going to celebrate like that. That if Xander missed the putt, he might be thinking, well, simply look, if he misses, it's game on. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's got to the point where it's dumbed down a bit too much that, in general, and they're all just too nice. And no, sport needs competition. Sport needs rivalry, and without that, that's what people watch it for. The excitement.
We've gone off on a massive tangent here. You've not even given us your Canadian Open tips yet, have you?
On your review, no.
Do you want mine again?
You've got some two fucking pudding Canadian guys who can't win.
Canadian
You can have all the Canadians, man.
Canadian syrup puddings or maple syrup puddings.
Maple syrups. I need a maple syrup right now. Anyway. Hep, give us your picks.
Anyway. Yeah, so I'm just going to take two of the top 10 that we said
that we dismissed.
Yeah, basically.
It better not be that fish Cameron Young.
One of them is going to be that fish Cameron Young. So looking at 2019, the last time it was played here, Rory won by 7 shots from Shane
Ain't too
Lowry
good, that Rory.
with a -9 on the
I
in
I
round
think you should
4
just
to
pick
win it.
Rory, to be honest.
But if you look at the people behind him, they all look like
1.5
they were
points each way.
probably some of the favourites. But yeah, it looks like a bit more shot
Look at the
makers
first
course
play,
than
lads.
a bombers. So I'm going to go 5 points outright on Connors and 5
Oh,
points outright on
5
Cameron
points
Young.
each way.
No, just outright.
But Hep, I mean,
I'm taking two in the top 6 of the favourites. I'm not backing them each way. I'm just going on the nose. One of them's going to win it.
He
We
does
talk-
what he wants.
McIlroy's not in it. Fleetwood's not winning. Thigala is dangerous. Lowry's not winning. Noren's not winning. Burns isn't winning. Scott's not winning. So
should we just like back like 25 long shots in each way and just.
I mean, that's probably the better way to go. It is
I think
probably
so.
100-1 winner again, like last week. But it's not the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go either Corey Connors as another Canadian with Marv's trend, or Cameron Young to get his first PGA Tour
Sorry,
victory.
what was Marv's trends? Just for Canadians?
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
just a
coincidence. I won't call it a
Canadian
trend.
one last year.
You know what I mean?
Comes in pairs, baby.
I like it, Hep. I called it a coincidence. You called it a trend.
A trend of one. All trends start with one.
40-1
Also-
wins the Prince of Wales 36 at Royal Ascot. Well, fucking hell, Twig, there's 40-1 in this one. Might as well back it.
But backing up Connors, so he is number 2 in approach this
Oh,
year.
Hep, you
behind
know how
Scotty.
bad his short game is.
But the well, he doesn't.
Come
need
on,
it if he
Stato,
hits
give me the
every-
stats. Well,
If he hits every green in regulation, he doesn't need to be around.
I was thinking
that.
exactly that.
But yeah, second best player in this the tournament this week is Aaron Rye in 9th.
but he wears
approach.
2 gloves. Hep.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
he's
that's
not
why I'm
gonna
not doing it. And then Larry in 10th. So Connors has got quite a big gap to the next person. I mean, Connors is 0.98, and then Rye is 0.6. So it's a decent gap between Connors and the field this week on approach. So yeah, Connors and then Cameron.
For the listener out there, are you actually going to back these people?
Yeah, they're already backed.
Oh,
I back my picks. It's not going well, but
I bet my picks. Are you in profit yet? Anyway,
Hence, I
anyway.
don't back my picks.
we used to talk about in the 2022 Canadian Open, we had Justin Thomas 3-putt at 18. Tony Finau made a birdie from off the green, and Rory McIlroy made a birdie from like 9 feet, and we had a very good DraftKings week, which was very much needed at the time because I've been sacked from my previous job. But wait, 2022? Oh no, I wasn't. We did all right though. Yeah, I've got no strong opinion this week. I think it's really tough. I'll probably take more interest in the European Open in Germany with 20 on the field. But Tom Kim, who Hep has gone on about for about 3 years now, I don't like him. I think he's very overrated. However, he does seem to find a huge amount of birdies for a guy of his ability. He finished with last week he finished with a 74. Before they had 3 rounds in the 70s, 3 rounds in the 60s. The Sunday conditions were horrible for the people who started off at about teed off around 11, 12 o'clock. I'd ignore that. Before that, he finished tied 26th in the PGA. He was tied 47th in the Wells Fargo. I'll take about 40-1. Hep, I believe he's already been cut, right?
down to 33s.
They're fucking too good, that Twig. So I'll take 4 points each way, and Tom Kim and Mars already alluded about that. Davis Riley, he played all right last week. He finished, he started 7 under, 7 under, and then what do we say, Marv? The fact he started 7 under, 7 under, 14 under for the first 2 rounds. If you compare that to certain Chase Scheffler played the middle 2 rounds in 12 under and lost. How?
100%. If someone said, look, last week the winner was 14 under, Scheffler was 12 under for 2 rounds, and the winner was 5 clear, you think easy money, Scheffler.
I think
What
Riley made
happened?
a really good birdie at 17. I think he won by 5 in the end. wasn't as straightforward as that, but he will be strutting off that green going, hey, fucking too good now. That confidence is up. He's 100 to 1. I think 100 to 1 is too big.
Easy, definitely.
Just because like, okay, he's obviously shown he can play, but now he's got that 2-year exemption. He's in every tournament now. You're set for life, right? He's got, I think, young kid, marriage, whatever. Darling, the mortgage is paid. We're good now. So, I like you said, Mal, I don't think he's going to go back to back, but 100 to 1, Guardiola's first 5.
I have
Probably
thought
too
he
big.
might have been 50s. So
Yeah,
yes,
I thought about 66s, maybe 80s, but 100 to 1 ridiculous.
I generally don't know if this guy's ever played the course or ever played the tournament, but
It doesn't matter.
to do what he did last week, if it just, let's say, scrambles home by 1, Scheffler has a bad 4th round, you think he's fallen in. He didn't fall in, did he?
No, he played well. He
Yeah.
scrambled very
Yeah,
well. So fair play to
But yeah,
Boy.
you look at the names at 50s, 60s to 1, and like he's just the same player. Like Davis Thompson, Hadwin, EVR, Taylor.
Davis
like,
Thompson.
like,
Davis
what's
Thompson is
the
not winning, is he?
what's the difference between them and Riley at 100s? Like it's the same people.
Well, they got the same name.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's 100s. Maybe the bookies fucked up. They didn't watch last week either.
So to confirm my picks, 4 points each way. Tom came at. I'll go 33s. Like the 40s is gone. If anyone's listening to this, they're not going to get 40 to 1. 4 points each way. Tom King 33s and 1 point each way on Riley at 100s. Mark, give us your two. Just
Yeah,
two random Canadians, right?
Just 2 random Canadians, absolutely. Adam Hadwin and Mackenzie Hughes. I think Mackenzie Hughes is 40s. Hadwin, I think, is 45s. So just 2.5 each way. On both. Don't bet on them, and you won't lose. Work that one
out. Connors at 22s, Young at 25s, 5 points on the nose for each.
I can't wait for the sub sorry next week when Hep finishes tied 3rd and he was leading into the last round.
I hope there's both from 2nd and 3rd. No place money.
Davis Riley. Anyway, I've been Jack Milner, them two have been the Sticky Bandits, and we will see you all next week. Ta-ra.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, thanks guys, bye-bye.